All right, first garden tour of the season. It is Tuesday, March 30th. I'm gonna be making a little garden tour once a week to kind of track how everything's doing, and I'll post them on YouTube in case anyone else is interested. But I thought I would do a little video series once a week so I can keep track, so I have something to look back on in the future years. So I just planted everything out in the garden 2 days ago, so they've been in the ground for 2 days. I started the seeds in January, I think it might have been January 19th. I started all the seeds and I just planted them out on March 28th. And I am so glad that I live in Northern California because I can plant out the seeds pretty early because the last frost is pretty early. So anyway, let's get started on this little garden tour. All right, so starting in this first bed, all around the edge of it, I have planted garlic. I forgot what the variety is. I'll have to tell you later, but garlic is all around the edge. Here we've got a Pantano Romanesco tomato, and same with right here. These are going to be like big, beefy red tomatoes. They're going to be really, really nice. I've got those seeds from Baker Creek. And then here I have a Sun Gold cherry tomato. It did get a little sunburn, but that is okay. This one actually already has a little baby tomato growing, which is so exciting because it's March and there's a little tomato, so I hope that guy pulls through and makes it. But this is probably the biggest tomato plant I have right now, and this is the only one that I didn't start from seed. I got this guy at the nursery because I really wanted Sun Gold tomatoes in my garden, but I didn't have the seeds for them. And then right here I've got a cherry tomato. I'm not sure which variety because I had a rainbow seed pack, so this could be one of 8 varieties. So once the fruit starts coming on and I see the color, then I'll know what variety it is. So there's that row of tomatoes. And then to support these once they get big, I'm gonna get a cattle panel and I'm gonna run it from this side of the bed down to this side and support it with some of these stakes, and then tie the tomatoes up to it so they can grow nice and strong and have supports. I tried using tomato cages last year and I did not like them. They did not support as well, and Roots and Refuge Farm actually gave me the idea to do the cattle panel to support the tomatoes, so I'm really excited to try that this year. Also, I almost forgot, I put my butternut squash here next to these tomatoes, and I'm gonna have it kind of growing over the edge, and then all the squash will be here in this area. And then of course, gotta have the marigolds to help with the bugs, bring in some good pollinators, and weeds always. I've been seeing a lot of these guys in my beds. I think they came in the compost. I think there was some seeds in the compost, and so they just keep popping up all over. And I just tore up some clover. Okay, so last year I planted like clover cover crop like all in this area, and it's popping up. You can see some clover, so I kind of just dug it out of the ground right here and stuck it in the beds this morning, so they're a little droopy, but that will add nitrogen to the soil. If you pull these up, actually, let me see if I can show you, but if you pull these up in their roots, let's see, yep, they have those little white balls are little balls of nitrogen. So they help with nitrogen in the soil by growing it on their root. And so it's nice to have the clover in there. And as the roots get bigger, those balls of nitrogen get bigger. Anyway, really cool. So clover cover crop for nitrogen, recommend. Anyway, on with the garden tour. Then on this side of the bed I have peppers. So these ones are jalapeno. I have a jalapeno there and a jalapeno there. I've got Italian pepperoncini. So I've got one there and there. And then here, these are Dude España peppers, which is like a very large bell pepper. So I have one there and there. And these are a new variety to me this year. I'm excited to try them. They're supposed to be huge, so it should be pretty exciting. And then here I have some banana peppers. I have one here and one here. And pretty soon here I'm gonna come around to all the peppers and I'm gonna top them off. So I'm just gonna cut the tops of the peppers off to leave about 4 nodes, which will produce more peppers in the future. They'll kind of branch off into 2 main stalks versus just like 1 main stalk producing peppers. And I'll probably do that in like next week or the 3rd garden tour video, depending on how big the peppers are at the time. All right, now on to the next bed. More marigolds. And then on this bed, I have garlic planted along the edges also, except right here in this portion of the bed, those are all Walla Walla onions. I got those starts from a nursery. And then down here, I've got a black Krim tomato and another black Krim tomato. And these ones are gonna be like a big purple tomato. I tried growing them last year, but the deer ate all of them, so I never actually got to try them. But I've heard they produce really well and they taste good, so we'll see. So I got 2 of those guys. And then I've got 2 Romas. So this Roma and then that's a Roma also. Gotta have a good paste tomato in the garden to make sauces from and to can. So I probably won't be eating a lot of these fresh. I'll be making them into sauces and canning them for use in the winter and stuff like that. And then on the other side, I have the Costa Rica peppers that I brought back from my trip to Costa Rica. So I sprouted these guys and they're doing pretty well. These are supposed to be really, really spicy. I'm not exactly sure what kind of pepper they are, so I'm just calling them Costa Rica peppers. But there they are. And then, oh, there's another weed. And then I planted, oh, and another weed. This is a broccoli, and then I've got another broccoli here also. And everything is literally gonna blow up so quick. These plants are literally gonna grow almost overnight. It's gonna seem like it's crazy. They're gonna be like this small, and then in a few more weeks they're gonna be huge with so much fruit. Okay, and for the final bed, the new bed that I just put in, the new addition to the garden, we've got marigolds again. And then along this edge I planted onions. And then here we've got a zucchini. It's a Black Beauty zucchini, I think is a variety. And then in the middle here, this is a Gold Rush summer squash. So it's a yellow summer squash. I haven't tried this variety yet, so we'll see how I end up liking it. And then of course we've got a little sugar baby watermelon. It's looking a little droopy. I might give this guy a little extra water. The soil's pretty wet under there, but he needs some help. Anyways, sugar baby watermelon. And then I did plant chard in here, I think last week or the week before. And then butterhead lettuce also. And this area is not finished. So we have all of like this area behind the beds. We are working on leveling it out right now. We got started on that end. And then I brought down the beds that I had up on the balcony. I took them apart yesterday, brought all the wood and everything down here, and we're gonna put those one there and then one there, and then in the middle of them we're gonna do like an arched trellis where I'll put my cucumbers. So I haven't put the cucumbers in yet because I'm gonna put them on the arched trellis. And then in the beds we'll have our cannabis plants, and I'm gonna put the herbs and stuff in there too because they were up in the beds up there, so I have them in pots right now. And then once we get the new beds down here, I'll replant them in the beds. And yeah, that is pretty much what we have going in the garden so far. So this is day 2 of them being in the garden, and I'm just so excited to watch them all grow. But yeah, all right, if you watched this, have a good rest of your day. Bye.